woke up a lot last night. Babe was crying a lot. So why don't we make today's video all about happiness? And we're gonna use this book to talk about it. This book, Flow, a book you hear cited all the time. And it's about finding what he calls the flow state. The flow state is something you find in work or in play or in sport. And it's something that like extreme athletes try to seek it. People that are really into writing or doing some kind of creative endeavor that is like very focused and very into the moment tend to find it. And he talks about how it's an integral part of happiness is finding a flow state. And if you don't have anything in your life that you can get into a flow state with, then you're severely lacking in your overall fulfillment and even mental kind of sanity, really. And so like there's a lot of fascinating things in this book that suggest that everyone needs to get into flow as often as possible, or I would say, even like some kind of regularity, right? And when it comes to work, if you're interested in being productive, you have to find flow states because that's where you get your most work done. So today's video, we're gonna talk about it. I'm running late. I'm gonna do my morning routine really quick. I gotta get to work. I gotta build out the Wild Studio today. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna record there, and we're gonna then do some quotes. But look into some of the quotes for this online on your own time. Look into it. Maybe even grab the book and read it. I highly recommend it. And let's see how to be happy today. Just has to back in. When
I have the most access to all the doors.
Yeah. 2,300 years ago, Aristotle concluded that more than anything else, men and women seek happiness. While happiness itself is sought for its own sake, every other goal, health, beauty, money, or power, is valued only because we expect that it will make us happy. Talk about a great opening line to a book. And it's something that we should all think about. Like, we always want things, and we try to get money and success and power and fame because we think it's gonna make us happy and more fulfilled. And so a lot of what we're gonna explore is whether or not that's true. And a lot of what we all have to explore on a daily basis is whether or not that's true as we accomplish the things we've sought, and then we're off to accomplish the next thing after we get hedonically adapted to that thing we accomplish, which is, the grass screener syndrome, wanting a big house, a big car, a better neighborhood. We always think one more move up the affluent ladder is going to fulfill us. And a lot of times it doesn't. And so a lot of what this book's about is about how you find happiness in the flow state, and how regardless of your financial situation, you can find these moments of bliss that will then filter out to the rest of your life, and then you'll have more gratitude, and it'll just kind of seep into a overarching theme of happiness in your life. And it's something that we could all use. Hopefully some of the things in this video can help you answer that for yourself. Not claiming to have suggest that I've figured this out or that I have know the answers. I do know some things that have worked, and I do know some things that I struggle with, and I'm going to try to cover those today to give you a different perspective that can help you in your life to find happiness and also to reduce suffering and pain and drama and all the other things that so many people waste so much time on. They waste so much of their precious life on. Because a lot of being happy is actually eliminating a lot of that nonsense. And then after you eliminate all that nonsense, then you pursue things like flow and purpose and family and friends and spending time with your kids and writing stuff because for the joy of writing, or creating videos for the joy of creating videos, or whatever it is. And I think that's a pretty good template for life. I think it's a pretty good template for being happy. So again, we're back. This is page 2. The first chapter is really great, gives a lot of summary of what the book's going to be about, and then it gets deep into the science and deep into examples. But he talks about how in all the research he was doing for over, I believe it was 20 years, they dug into trying to find why people were finding happiness, how they were finding happiness, what words they used, what techniques that they used, how they described it. And he talks about how he discovered what happiness was, and he discovered that it's not something that just happens. And so he kind of made the connection that the people that were the most happy, that were finding happiness, had an active practice for finding happiness. So that's a really big point of today's video, is you have to actively pursue happiness. Now, the two-pronged approach to that is to, one, make sure you reduce the negatives and the drama and all that from your life as much as you can. There's a lot of things you can do. Following something like Stoicism is great because it eliminates so much of the gunk out of your mind and out of life and out of people. And when you just don't put up with crap, you just don't have to deal with as much. And people understand that, and so they don't give you as much crap. And when you're a straight shooter and you're just to the point, it's just amazing. Life is simpler. And so, topic for another day. He talks about how people who learn to control inner experience will be able to determine the quality of their lives, which is as close as any of us can come to being happy. And so this whole idea of inner experience is very much with the kind of flow he talks about. And he talks about how optimal experience, I underline that. This is what we mean by optimal experience. We feel a sense of exhilaration, a deep sense of enjoyment that is long cherished and that becomes a landmark in memory for what life should be like. Yet we all have experienced times when instead of being buffeted by anonymous forces, we do feel in control of our actions, masters of our own fate. On the rare occasions that it happens, we feel a sense of exhilaration, a deep sense of enjoyment that is long cherished and that becomes a landmark in memory for what life should be like. And again, this is an active role. This is something that could have happened traveling with your family, climbing the Alps, climbing the waterfalls in Jamaica like I did as a kid, which I'll never forget that experience. And so it's not just about finding flow in work or sport. There's a lot of other ways to find it. You know, it could just be like having a really great conversation with your closest friends because they flew into town to see you, and you have dinner and you talk for 3 hours about whatever, like you used to when you were younger, right? Things like that. For me, those are flow experiences that I put a lot of value on, which is why I put a lot of value on friends and family and getting get-togethers where we're at someone's home with some good food and good company and good conversation, as opposed to like going out and drinking or doing whatever, right? I like to really be in those close experiences with people to really have those in-depth conversations. I find a flow state there. And so for me, that's a very important part of being happy. I try to pursue that. And I try to get my friends around as much as possible to do that, right? Like as far as like inviting my friends to Austin now that I live here, so they can come to the house and we can have dinners like that, right? So that's one example. So we're gonna go through a few more. This book is really long. I could spend a long video on this, and that's page 2, right? So we're gonna do, I would say, the first 20 pages today and just go over some of the main ideas, and that's gonna wrap up today's video. It's gonna kind of be a 2-day vlog power idea of the day. So I just had somebody that recognized me from social, which is crazy. It's just like when people do that in person, it's so wild. But it's good because, you know, today's topic is happiness, and it's kind of like, are you doing things that you're passionate about? Like, are you talking about things you're passionate about? And when you don't have a big audience, you know, you might think that you aren't making an impact, or that people aren't listening or following, but they are. And so I think that was a pretty cool experience for today. It's like always good to get those little reminders that, you know, people are listening. You know, you might be making a change, you might be helping people. And so you just got to keep doing more of that and not focus too much on the numbers and on needing some kind of validation, right? And so, because I do enjoy doing social and recording these videos and stuff, it is good to get a little bit of that validation of like, at least someone's getting some value out of it, you know? And so then I can do more of this and I enjoy it. And so all comes full circle.
Like, yo, what up? Here, have some coffee. Hi. Hi. There's a new person here.
Yes.
Hello. F sugar. Yeah.
In today's video, topic is happiness. What's your one tip for happiness, Jamie?
Do things that you love every day.
That's good because the video is actually about flow, which is path to happiness.
I gotta do those things every day that I love, like eat well, work out, and be with people I love.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
What do you do to get in a flow state? What's your secret for happiness at your young age?
I would say setting a goal for yourself and always striving towards reaching that goal and never letting yourself have wasted time.
All right. I don't have the answer to happiness. I have some techniques and tips that have helped me on the happiness journey, but I don't think anyone has a complete answer. There's a lot of different ways to find it. There's a lot of different techniques and things you can do to inch closer to it. But one thing I can tell you will not help you be happy is the sickness of more. The guys that have $10 million, $20 million, they literally never have to work a day in their life. Their investments could paying for their life and their family forever, right? Yet they'll still try to make 100 million or 20 or 150 million, or they want to join the billionaire club or whatever. And it's like the money itself doesn't do anything extra for their life. It's the more they're after. It's the sickness of more. More money, bigger house, a new car, a different mate, You know, grass is always greener with someone else that looks amazing until you're with them for 6 months and you realize they're not all that great, or you realize that what you had was really awesome, but it's too late for that. The one thing you need to avoid is a focus on more. That will prevent a lot of misery, which will make you happier in general. So now I got to drive. Happiness, it's having purpose and work you enjoy. You have to. If you have a job that you don't like, it should be a means to something else. It should be a stepping stone. Maybe it's to pay your bills so you can work on the side, that side project, or that side hobby, or that side passion, or so you can go rock climbing on the weekends and find a flow state that way, or to go surfing, or whatever it is. That's completely fine. You know, I feel like a lot of people, what they do and they don't do is they have a job and they don't really analyze why they have that job and what that job is allowing them. A lot of times you could change a job that really you don't like into something that's positive if you change what that job is doing for you. If you change the perception of that job, if you change the perception of that job and what it's doing for you, you can learn to be grateful for it. And moving to gratitude typically saps negative energy and negative thought patterns. So like, let's say you work so you can provide for your family, so you guys can go on vacations and stuff. And so you have a certain level of freedom and security. And so you can stow away a couple $1,000 a month in your emergency fund or whatever it is. Like, if that's the case, then that's awesome, right? So be grateful for it. If it's not, especially if you're like a young person who has a job and you just kind of have it, and you pile on bills, and you know, you buy an expensive car and you move to a nicer place in town and you do things like that, well, you know, maybe it's not worth having that job where you work 40 hours a week or more and you don't really like what you're doing. Maybe it's worth cutting back and living frugally and doing something else. Maybe you intern for someone or some in a different industry to learn. Maybe you try to sell your art or to be a coach or whatever, like the million things that you can do. I mean, work in a restaurant for a while just to learn the restaurant business. Be a bartender to just learn how to do that. I mean, like, let's say you're a bartender, you live in here in Austin, and you don't like your job, you don't like your coworkers, whatever it is, but you learn the bartending skill. You know, you don't have kids or family or anything. You know, you're a single man or woman. You're going to go to Europe then, and you're going to use your bartending skills, right, to see Europe, to bartend at these awesome clubs where they have these raves and whatnot. What's up?
I'm not gonna come over tonight.
Why? So today's vlog, thought of the day, I got a tagline, I still haven't figured it out. It's happiness, and it's based on the work of the book Flow. Now, the thing is, as I think about happiness and as I talk about it, I'm finding other things in my life that I've identified that help with happiness or reduce it, whereas the book Flow is more about finding these optimal experiences and getting into a flow state, which contributes to overall life satisfaction and happiness, as well as you get benefits like mindfulness and being in the present and things like that, which are really great for humans and for our mind and anxiety and reducing stress and all that nonsense. So I don't think it's just about the flow. And I think you should try to take what you can from this video and let this lead you down other rabbit holes of self-actualization, eliminating negatives in your life, which they've proven in research is a big help for just being overall more happy. Is a lot of times it's just removing all the toxic crap in your life. And so I talked about that earlier, but it's a big thing, and it's hard to do because most of the toxic things in our life are there. They've kind of solidified into parts of our life through habit or through happenstance, or because that's just the way they've been for a long time. And so to change things that have been the way they have been for a while is a very hard thing to do for humans. It just is. Like, you're literally breaking a habit and or creating a new habit. It's tough. Flow states are great. Find deep work, find work you love, but at the same time, you gotta, to be truly happy, you have to have a very general overall approach. A lot of that is based on removing the negatives in your life. So, I'm here at the Wild Studio, and I just organized stuff for a couple hours. In fact, let's go look at it. The kitchen. This is going to be our bookshelf. I'm going to have a bunch of books that we can give to people that come in. I like gifting books. Probably my favorite thing to gift. And then we just got this set up, the lights, the overhead lights. and that is over the table where I was just recording. We're also going to do recipe videos and drink videos and stuff. It's going to be really cool. Like we have different flat lays and stuff, right? This is all going to be ingredients. It's all going to be labeled. That's what all those jars are for. Different cups for props, different serving stuff and whatnot. Eventually we want to do like food photography and cool things like that as well. We got the wild shelf, which is going to be all Wild Foods products. We're missing a shelf, right? So we're going to get that going, get this completely built out. Then we have all the bins for our gear, all the studio stuff. We got to organize all this, lighting, extra product, microphone stuff. I mean, everything, you name it. Like, there's so much random crap that you can buy when you get into photo and video. And I would actually recommend buying less stuff. Like, all this stuff. It's like all these different attachments. Like, you know, like, why do I need 3 of these? Most of the times because I need it, I don't know where it is, and so I go on Amazon and buy another one. I don't recommend doing that. Obviously, more tripods and light stands than, you need. And then I just got this couch from IKEA. It's pretty cool. Folds down to futon. So when my friends come in town, they can come hang out. And this is where I'm going to sit and do videos like this. And I'm going to have it set up here. And behind me, I'm going to have shelves. And I want probably books, props, wild food stuff. And I'm excited about that. Just to have a nice solid space where I can record, sit down and record, turn the camera on, it's ready to go. Got this huge light that I just bought. Huge softbox. And then the room is going to have, I'm going to get a Nectar bed, which is like one of those bed in a box things like Casper. We bought a Nectar and we love it. So I'm going to buy Nectar. And that is not a sponsored recommendation. I should get some money for affiliate purchases though if you buy one. But they really are great beds. And so the room is going to be a Nectar bed. It's going to be, I got a bed frame, nightstand. It's going to be basically set up so that if any of my friends or family are in town, they can stay there. But also when we start partnering more with influencers and doing things like that, it's something I want to offer to influencers to be able to come in, shoot content, and then basically stay for a day or two in Austin, which is a destination. Yeah. On the theme of happiness, have work that you enjoy doing, but that's also challenging. The whole finding your passion thing is a little overdone, but it's also just needs more caveats and it needs a better explanation. So a lot of times when you get really good at something, you can turn that into a passion. And the better you get at it and the more results you get, the more you're passionate about it. And then the more money you make. And then so you're living your passion. I mean, you could have a passion about like marketing a dry cleaning business, right? In fact, Joe Polish, one of the great direct response marketers, he had it was carpet cleaning. He started a carpet cleaning business, and then he found how a lot of the other businesses were terrible at marketing, and so he created this whole course and became like the go-to expert on how to market carpet cleaning businesses. And like literally that was a stepping stone to getting more into like general marketing and direct response. And now he's like friends with everyone. He's a master networker. He knows Tony Robbins and just like super cool guy. But it's just interesting and telling how he developed a passion for carpet cleaning businesses and marketing those businesses, right? And he did that because he started a carpet cleaning business, and then he realized like to get more business, the things he did that were getting results, he's like, well, I could teach other carpet cleaning businesses how to do this. And so he developed a passion for it. So I would say that's my main thing when it comes to finding your passion is you got to get in there and do things. Sometimes you got to do things to make money. But when you do that, find opportunities to do more of the things that are getting you results and that you like doing. And you can always scale that up. You can always turn it into a business, or you could just double down on it for a couple of years, get really good at it, buy the business. Like let's say you're working for someone, you buy the business, or you start your own business, or you consult other carpet cleaning businesses and then you work for yourself, or you create a carpet cleaning business website and program like Joe did. All from carpet cleaning. You could literally start as a carpet cleaner and then you learn the business, because I'm telling you guys, every single one of you that's an employee out there, and I've employed hundreds of people over the past 12 years. If you approach your job as a insider chance at learning a business, you are getting more valuable education than any college degree could ever give you. And I will say that with absolute resoluteness. I absolutely believe that. If you had the chance to work in any company, really, any business, any niche, right, versus having a Harvard degree or whatever, you're going to have, if you approach it the right way, if you open your mind and you really pay attention and ask questions, you will learn more about that business and it will be more valuable to you than having a Harvard degree. I know it's slightly controversial, and there are some exceptions that might, Like obviously if you're a janitor, but even as being a janitor, like if you really pay attention to what's going on, you know, you could be a janitor in a fashion company, for example, and you just pay attention to how they do things, how they talk to each other, how they negotiate deals. You can hear people talk on the phone. You could learn so much stuff, guys. And most of business is just getting in there and like being good with people and figuring it out. That is my side recommendation for the day, or finding happiness and passion or whatever. And so, yeah, we got a little bit more today. We got some working out. It's time that I get my fitness on.